Ladies and gentlemen, today is the day we take a stand for ourselves, not against the world, but for our self-respect, our dignity, and the value we place on our existence. Respecting yourself isn't just an option, it's a necessity, a foundation for everything we build in our lives. First, we must set boundaries. Too often we find ourselves saying yes to everything, stretching ourselves thin, losing sight of our own needs. It's time to learn that saying no isn't selfish. It's a declaration that your time and energy are precious. Prioritize self-care, because if you don't take care of yourself, who will? Your body is your temple, your mind your sanctuary, and your heart your guide. Nourish them, cherish them, and they will reward you with strength and clarity. Speak kindly to yourself. We're often our harshest critics, aren't we? It's time to silence that inner voice that tells us we're not enough. Replace it with words of encouragement, words that uplift, empower, and remind us of our worth. Pursue personal growth. Never stop learning, never stop evolving. The world is your playground of knowledge, your classroom of life. Every new skill, every new lesson learned is the step closer to the person you're meant to be. Honor your commitments. When you make a promise to yourself, keep it. Every time you follow through, you're telling yourself that you're reliable, that you can trust your own word. This builds an unshakable foundation of self-respect. Surround yourself with positive people. The energy we absorb from those around us is powerful. Let it be the kind that lifts you up, that propels you towards your dreams, that makes you feel invincible. Accept your flaws. Perfection is an illusion, a mirage. What makes you unique, what makes you beautiful are your imperfections. Embrace them, love them, for they are the marks of your humanity. Trust your instincts. Deep within you lies a compass, guiding you towards what's right for you. Listen to it, trust it. It knows the way, even when your mind is clouded with doubt. Set achievable goals. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Break down your dreams into smaller, tangible goals. Celebrate each milestone, for each is a victory in itself. Celebrate your achievements. Don't wait for the world to recognize your success. Take a moment, acknowledge your efforts, and give yourself the credit you deserve. You've earned it. Respect yourself, for in doing so you set the standard for how the world should treat you. This is your life, your story, and you are the hero of your own epic. Stand tall, walk with purpose, and remember, respect begins within. Imagine for a moment that your life is like a beautiful garden. This garden thrives only when you tend to it, nurture it, and protect it from weeds and external forces that threaten its growth. Setting boundaries is like building a fence around this precious space, not to keep others out entirely, but to ensure that what enters your garden is worthy and beneficial to your growth. You see, boundaries aren't about exclusion, they're about preservation. They're about knowing your limits and communicating them with clarity and conviction. When you say yes to everything, you dilute your energy, your focus, and your purpose. You end up giving away pieces of yourself until there's nothing left. But when you set firm boundaries, you're declaring to the world, this is what I can give, and this is where I draw the line. Setting boundaries is a radical act of self-love. It's about understanding that your time, your energy, and your emotions are finite resources that deserve to be protected and respected. It's about prioritizing what truly matters to you and not being afraid to say no to anything that doesn't serve your highest good. And here's the magic of boundaries. When you respect your own limits, others will learn to respect them too. They'll see the strength in your self-respect, and they'll adjust their expectations accordingly. By setting boundaries, you create space for what truly matters, and you empower yourself to thrive in every aspect of your life. Let me ask you a powerful question. How can you show up for the world, for your dreams, for the people you love, if you're constantly running on empty? You can't pour from an empty cup, and that's why prioritizing self-care isn't just a luxury, it's a fundamental necessary for living a fulfilled life. Self-care is not selfish. It's about recognizing that you are your most valuable asset, and like any precious resource, you need to be maintained, nourished, and rejuvenated regularly. Think about it. What happens to a car that never gets serviced? Eventually it breaks down. The same principle applies to your body, mind, and spirit. If you neglect yourself, you're setting yourself up for burnout, fatigue, and a life that feels far less vibrant and energized than it should. Prioritizing self-care means making time for the things that replenish you, whatever they may be. It's about honoring your physical health by feeding your body nutritious foods, exercising regularly, and getting enough rest. It's about nurturing your mind with activities that stimulate and relax you, like reading, meditation, or simply taking a walk in nature. And it's about attending to your emotional well-being, allowing yourself to feel, express, and process your emotions in a healthy way. When you prioritize self-care, you're telling yourself, I matter, my health matters, my happiness matters. This isn't about vanity or indulgence, it's about self-preservation and self-respect. It's about understanding that when you're at your best, you can give your best to your work, your relationships, and your passions. And here's the truth, when you make self-care a priority, everything else in your life improves. Your energy increases, your focus sharpens, and your ability to handle life's challenges strengthens. Self-care is the foundation upon which greatness is built. So give yourself permission to put yourself first, to nurture your well-being, and to remember that taking care of yourself is the most powerful way to show up fully for the world. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, looking deep into your own eyes, and realizing that the person staring back at you is the most important person you'll ever speak to. Yet how often do we bombard that person with criticism, doubt, and negativity? We are so quick to uplift others, to cheer on our friends, yet when it comes to ourselves, we can be our harshest critics. It's time to change that narrative. It's time to speak kindly to yourself. The way you talk to yourself shapes your reality. If you constantly fill your mind with thoughts like, I'm not good enough, I'll never succeed, or I'm a failure, you start believing those lies. Your subconscious absorbs those words and begins to act accordingly, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. But what if you flipped the script? What if you started treating yourself with the same compassion and encouragement you give to others? Speaking kindly to yourself is a powerful act of self-respect. It means catching those negative thoughts as they arise and replacing them with affirmations that empower you. Instead of saying, I can't do this, saying, I am capable of overcoming challenges. Instead of, I always mess things up, saying, I learn from every experience and grow stronger. These aren't just empty words. They're seeds you plant in your mind that with time blossom into confidence, resilience, and self-belief. Kind words have a transformative power. They uplift, inspire, and heal. When you speak kindly to yourself, you create an environment of positivity within your mind, one where growth and success can flourish. You begin to see your worth, your potential, and your ability to achieve greatness. Remember, the world can be tough enough on its own. Don't let your mind be a battlefield where you're your own worst enemy. Be your greatest ally instead. Speak words of love, encouragement, and strength to yourself every single day. Because the voice you listen to the most should be one that lifts you up, not one that tears you down. You have the power to create a mind that supports and empowers you. Use it wisely. So let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly stretched yourself, stepped out of your comfort zone, and chased after something that made your heart race? Personal growth is not just a nice idea. It's the very essence of a fulfilling life. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, continuously evolving, learning, and pushing the boundaries of what you thought possible. Pursuing personal growth means committing to the idea that who you are today is just the beginning of what you can become. It's recognizing that every day presents a new opportunity to learn something new, to develop a skill, to strengthen your mindset, and to deepen your understanding of the world and yourself. Growth is about challenging yourself, facing your fears, and turning obstacles into opportunities for transformation. Personal growth doesn't happen by accident. It's intentional. It requires you to set goals that scare you a little but excite you a lot. It's about identifying areas in your life where you want to improve, whether it's your career, relationships, health, or personal development, and then taking actionable steps toward that improvement. It's about reading the books, attending the seminars, seeking the mentors, and putting in the work to rise to the next level. And here's the incredible thing. As you grow, your world expands. New possibilities open up, your confidence soars, and your ability to handle life's challenges strengthens. You start to see yourself not as a finished product, but as a work in progress, with limitless potential waiting to be unleashed. Pursuing personal growth is the ultimate act of self-respect. It's declaring to the world and to yourself that you are worthy of a life that's constantly improving. You're worthy of learning, of achieving, and of becoming more than you ever thought possible. Growth isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. When you commit to personal growth, you're committing to a journey of discovery, success, and unparalleled fulfillment. Wherever, so decide today to be better than you were yesterday, and let your growth be the driving force of your extraordinary life. Think about the promises you've made to yourself and others. How many of those have you truly honored? Honoring your commitments is more than just keeping your word. It's about building trust with yourself and establishing a foundation of integrity in your life. Every time you follow through on a promise, you reinforce your belief in your ability to deliver, to persevere, and to achieve. When you make a commitment, whether it's to hit the gym 3 times a week, finish that project by the deadline, or spend more quality time with your family, you're setting an expectation for yourself. And every time you meet that expectation, you're not just accomplishing a task, you're strengthening your internal resolve and your self-discipline. You're telling yourself, I can trust me. That trust is the cornerstone of self-respect and confidence. But what happens when you break your commitments? It chips away your self-esteem and creates doubt. You start to question your ability to stick with anything. And that doubt can spread like a virus, infecting other areas of your life. On the other hand, when you honor your commitments consistently, you create a cycle of success. Each small victory reinforces your belief in your ability to tackle bigger challenges. Honoring your commitments also impacts how others perceive you. It shows that you're reliable, dependable, and trustworthy. People will start to see you as someone who can be counted on, someone who stands by their word. And that trust from others is invaluable in both personal and professional relationships. So, the key to honoring commitments is to make them intentionally and realistically. Don't overpromise to impress or please others. Instead, set commitments that align with your values and your capabilities. And when you make a commitment, treat it as sacred. Prioritize it, work towards it, and if obstacles arise, find a way around them. When you honor your commitments, you're not just completing tasks, you're building a reputation with yourself and the world as someone who follows through, someone who respects their own word. That's the power of commitment, and it's a power you can harness to elevate every aspect of your life. Imagine for a moment that your life is a garden, and the people around you are the soil, sunlight, and water that nourish your growth. The right people, positive, uplifting individuals, are like rich, fertile soil and warm sunlight, helping you to flourish and reach your fullest potential. On the other hand, negative, draining individuals can act like weeds, choking your progress and dimming your shine. Surrounding yourself with positive people is essential to cultivating a life of success, happiness, and fulfillment. And the energy of the people you spend time with directly impacts your mindset, your emotions, and ultimately your actions. Positive people radiate encouragement, hope, and joy. They inspire you to dream bigger, to push past your limits, and to believe in yourself even when the going gets tough. They celebrate your victories, help you navigate challenges, and remind you of your worth when you forget it yourself. When you're around positive people, their energy becomes contagious. You start to see possibilities where before you saw obstacles. You begin to adopt a more optimistic outlook, which in turn attracts even more positive experiences into your life. It's a cycle of empowerment that propels you forward. But what happens when you're surrounded by negativity? It drags you down. It saps your motivation, clouds your vision, and makes it harder to stay focused on your goals. Negative people can plant seeds of doubt and fear in your mind, making it difficult to see your own potential. That's why it's crucial to consciously choose who you let into your inner circle. Seek out those who uplift you, challenge you in healthy ways, and believe in your dreams. Surround yourself with individuals who are also committed to growth and positivity. And remember, it's not just about what you can gain, it's also about what you can give. Be the kind of person who radiates positivity and inspires others. When you build a network of positive people, you create an environment where everyone thrives. You amplify each other's strengths, share in each other's success, and cultivate a collective energy that drives you all to be your best selves. Surrounding yourself with positivity is one of the most powerful decisions you can make for your life. Think about the times you've stood in front of the mirror and focused on what you believed were your flaws. Maybe you've criticized your appearance, your abilities, or even your personality. But here's the truth. Your flaws are not the enemy. They're a part of what makes you unique, human, and beautiful. Accepting your flaws is not about settling or giving up on self-improvement. It's about embracing your whole self with love and understanding. You see, everyone has flaws. They're what make us human, and they're what connect us to one another. Perfection is an illusion, a myth we've been sold. The most powerful thing you can do is recognize that your flaws are just as important as your strengths. They add depth to your character, teach you resilience, and provide opportunities for growth. When you accept your flaws, you release the weight of self-judgment. You stop wasting energy on hiding or denying them, and instead channel that energy into more productive and fulfilling areas of your life. Acceptance is liberating. It's the moment you say, I am enough as I am, and I'm worthy of love, success, and happiness, flaws and all. Two types of people in my life: the people who are certain that they're right, and the people who believe they're wrong. When acceptance means dealing with myself. Accepting your flaws doesn't mean you can't strive to improve. It means you approach self-improvement from a place of compassion, not self-loathing. You recognize that growth is a journey, and every step, even the imperfect ones, is part of your path to becoming the best version of yourself. And here's the beauty of it. When you accept your flaws, you give others permission to accept theirs too. You create an environment where authenticity is valued, where people feel safe to be real, vulnerable, and genuine. This fosters deeper connections, more meaningful relationships, and a stronger sense of community. And so instead of battling your flaws, embrace them. See them as part of the rich tapestry of who you are. They are not barriers to your greatness. They are stepping stones that lead you to discover your true strength, your resilience, and your limitless potential. Deep within you lies an incredible force, a guiding compass that knows the way even when your mind is clouded with doubt. This force is your instincts, your inner voice, your gut feeling. It's that subtle nudge that pushes you towards certain decisions, the whisper that says, this feels right, or something's off. Trusting your instincts is one of the most powerful tools you have, and it's time to harness that power fully. Your instincts are a culmination of your experiences, knowledge, and subconscious observations. They process information faster than your conscious mind can, picking up on nuances and signals you might not even be aware of. Think about the times you've ignored your instincts and later regretted it. Maybe it was a business decision, a relationship, or a new opportunity. In hindsight, you realize that your gut had it right all along. Trusting your instincts doesn't mean acting on impulse or without thought. It means listening to that deep inner knowing, weighing it alongside logic and reason, and allowing it to guide you toward the best possible outcome. It's about finding the balance between heart and mind, intuition and intellect. When you trust your instincts, you're also trusting yourself. You're acknowledging that you have the wisdom and capability to make decisions that serve your highest good. This builds confidence and reinforces your ability to navigate life's challenges with clarity and purpose. However, trusting your instincts requires practice. Start small. Pay attention to how your body feels when you're faced with the decision. Notice the sensations, the emotions, and the thoughts that arise. Over time, as you act on these instincts and see the positive results, your confidence in your inner guidance will grow. And here's the magic. As you trust your instincts more, they become sharper, more attuned, and more reliable. You'll begin to move through life with a sense of